52 in Pro League, very successful in Starcraft2 as well, known as By Rain back then, his ID. And he's 1-0 in Pro League. He did win his match just on Sunday, and he wants to make it a 2-0 here against Creator in a PvP.
Yeah, he faced up against Dream, the player from MVP, and he did have a late work. He researched timing with playing Stalkers, and he still won the game.
Yeah.
So if a guy can do that, I mean, going up against Creator, it is a different matchup, a different player. We're going to have to see how he plays in PvP. I'm sure he's also really, really strong. You guys have seen him for a while now. He's been around for so long.
And here's Creator, the young, talented player who was, at one point, undisputed the best Protoss versus Protoss player in the world. The reason why is because he won BWC's Korea qualifier to go to the BWC Championship in Shanghai that I get to commentate with Keldor. And that tournament had, like, the whole round of 8 was Protoss basically, and he won all the Protoss versus Protoss, won the finals in the Protoss versus Protoss, showed that his style was the most consistent, the most defensive Protoss player that we saw. And the map is up and loaded. Let's find out if he can actually win against Rain, the player who took that whole tournament. Right now, 2014 SK Telecom, Starcraft2 Pro League, Wolf and Brendan.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
And up here in the top left of the map, representing SK Telecom T1, this is, of course, the Protoss player, Rain.
He's going for a proxy himself. What?
What is happening today, man? What is with all of these strategies?
I don't know. Bringing in the new year, you got to get rid of the cheese before we go into 2014.
That stuff is going to spoil if you don't use it up or eat it soon.
Oh, yeah. He's up against the prime player to the bottom right, Creator.
And I love that he's doing this, actually. He knows that Creator cheesed twice.
Yes.
And he's saying, hey, I can cheese against you too. A lot of different Protoss players can cheese. And Rain is going to show him how it's done.
Creator has also oftentimes played extremely greedy in a safe way. And what I mean to say by that is he will sometimes rush out his sentries so quickly to be safe, he'll skip a Zealot. And we've seen this from him like every now and then. And if you skip a Zealot in a Protoss versus Protoss, like you are asking to get killed by something like this. Only one gateway means that we're going to see this with Mothership Core and Stalker follow-up. So it's not going to be an all-in, and it's also not going to end the game most likely, but it could give Rain a very big lead.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Creator checking a bit with this probe, but not enough. He didn't even fully check the bottom side of his base.
Yeah, he's just not expecting this.
Yeah.
Well, say what you will about Protoss, but Protoss will win this match no matter what. I was thinking about the match between Rain and Dream, and just how much discussion that has garnered over the past 2 days. You know, the top thread on Reddit for our Starcraft for the netizens, for netizens, is just that somebody posted in another thread that maybe somebody should make a sensor tower, and the guy says, "Oh, yeah, go back to Bronze League or something of this sort," and then it's defended by using a sensor tower in a televised match the very next day. I just love to see what people on the internet are saying about the state of balance and what they think. And right now, Protoss is very dominant in Korea. Double Zealot here, Chrono boosting it out so he can have those Zealots very, very early. And he's going to run in with 2 Zealots, a Stalker, and then the Mothership Core is going to be falling up soon. And Creator is skipping that Zealot.
Yep, Creator's skipping the Zealot. He's just now sending the probe out to scout. He's not going to see this until it might be just too late. He's about to, Rain is about to get his Cybernetics Core up. He's going to follow these 2 Zealots up with the Stalker, just like you said, as well as that Mothership Core.
Yeah, and here comes the first scout for Creator. He goes actually for a Stalker, but the pylon is the only pylon that there is, so he could start attacking that instead of the probes, but 2 Zealots versus probes, not a good situation here for Creator. There's the probe drill, gets the surround instantly, but he's losing so much as a result. He's trying to buy time for that Mothership Core, trying to buy time for that Stalker, but the Stalker of Rain is also on the way right now.
Yeah, the Stalker's coming out of Rain, and that's going to be big. The Mothership Core does pop out here, and he's going to try to kite as well as he can, but what he doesn't know is that Stalker's going to follow up here. He has to be careful.
And the Stalker's going to target the Mothership Core right away. If you look at the Mothership Core, this is actually a great way to describe just how fragile it is to armored attacks. From the Stalker, and the Mothership Core likely to fall here, down to 69 health. Oh, so close, 43. When the second Stalker arrives, he's going to be in trouble. He's actually going for 2 additional gateways in the main base, and chrono boosting not a unit out from the natural, but actually just chrono boosting his warp gate research.
Yeah, and I like this. He's getting more ahead. He got a little bit of an advantage here. He is up now in 3 probes, and he did a little bit of damage to the mothership core. Now he's going to come back, make some more gateways, and come back with this. With the warp gate research, it's going to come out a lot faster for him.
The scary situation right now for Creator is his warp gate research is so delayed that he's not going to have a lot of production, and his opponent is not only going to have better production, more units, but he's also going to have potentially blink. I like the counter blink by Creator, and he's got a pretty good idea of what's coming his way. Look at this by Rain. He's got the bravery to poke these 2 Stalkers and try to keep his gateway alive as long as possible.
And look at this, Creator following up with the Twilight Council of his own. Maybe he knows that this is, what's coming out of Rain, and he's like, okay, what am I going to do to stop this? I'm going to get my own Blink. I'm going to get my own Twilight Council up at the same time.
Could also get a Dark Shrine for defense.
That
would be a smart choice, too. We'll see what ends up happening here. He's checking around to make sure there's no forward pylons right now. A great choice. Creator is one of the safest Protoss or Protoss players that you can ever find. There's that Blink research being going down for both players, in fact.
Yeah, like you said, Creator's so safe. Stalkers all over the map now, checking everywhere for pylons. Other proxies, we did see before a player do a double proxy that was Yonghua. So
yeah, go proxy into another proxy. So the mothership core here is not only just here to scout and get some more information, but also to use time warps and get high ground vision for the Blink Stalkers. Though, I think Creator, with his follow-up here, is in a relatively safe position as long as he can control that high ground and micro his Stalkers well. His Blink's not very far behind, and he's actually getting a robotics up right now. Mothership core tries to scout. He actually sees that Twilight Council and recalls home. And will he commit to the attack?
That was very nice there, just getting the recall off just before getting the scouting information. Knows he sees that that Creator is also following up with the Twilight Council of his own. And now, what is he going to do here? He looks like he's backing off for now. The Blink is about the same time getting that robotics facility as well for both players, actually.
Yeah, with the robo going up for both players, this is really interesting. We're going to have a game where both players go Blink, and they're going to have Blink the whole game. So whenever we have a fight, if the 2 Stalkers meet directly, we're going to see fireworks. And if one player ever gets an advantage, we're going to watch this leapfrog game of 1 Stalker group blinking away, then seconds later being chased, and then seconds later blinking away again. And it's really, really fun to watch games end up occurring like this. Usually if one player goes Blink and is aggressive, the other one doesn't get it until later, sometimes skips it entirely. So these games are pretty rare.
And that was a nice little Zealot scout out of Rain. He was just putting that in there to see if an expansion was coming up. Rain following up with an expansion of his own. Very nice response here. Not going to go aggressive just yet. Creator, knowing that the Zealot had to come from somewhere, coming up here and taking out this pylon. So safe, so meticulous, making sure he gets every little advantage he can.
Yeah, and here we go. These 3 Stalkers a little bit in trouble. Could have been blinked upon, but he doesn't know what's on the other side, so decides not to. I guess what he could do is blink 1 forward and then see. That's still in itself a little bit risky. Okay, now he knows his pylon saw, and Creator on the retreat here. He's trying to get an Immortal out. This Nexus may have to be canceled. This is a great judgment call here by Rain, knowing that at the worst case scenario, he just walks away. Best case scenario, you can damage this Nexus, maybe force a cancel, gets away, no damage done to him.
Yeah, he also knows basically that Creator did not know that he has an expansion. He knows now with that Observer, and so he knew that he could just come in here. Maybe Creator would overreact and cancel, but didn't quite get that. At least got a little bit of damage on the Nexus. Now going to just back off, making Immortals of his own. Going to get that Forge up as well.
Yeah, going to get the Forge up. Wants to get his upgrades out as fast as possible. The Immortals coming out for Creator are actually a little bit faster here. In Protoss versus Protoss, you'll notice that players always do this, and the reason why is it's like, well, I know that he moved back. I can kill this pylon for free, and I'm going to do that because I want to make sure that if you're a Protoss player, you know what losing a pylon means. It means that all of your very, very expensive units that cost a lot of supply, because every Protoss unit costs, except the Observer and the Probe, at least 2 supply. And when you lose a pylon, that actually really affects your production. And it's really important to go clear those out also, because then later on Rain could have used that for a run by when you're moving out. I really like the effect on this map. Look at that, the dust clouds down below on Outboxer here.
Yeah, that is really cool. One of our newer maps, of course, coming out with new effects off screen. And now we see Creator going into that robotics bay after making those 2 immortals.
I'm curious to see if Rain is going to follow suit or if he's going to add a Twilight Council.
That is the question here.
Most players are not going for that Wings of Liberty robotics style in PvP right now, especially not Kespa Protosses. Creator's a new Kespa Protoss, but he's still got that old Wings of Liberty style going in. I think that given the situation, it makes sense. It makes sense for Rain to also add a robotics bay. And we'll just have to wait and see, though. Adds a gateway right now. If he doesn't do either very soon, then Creator's actually just tech-wise going to continue to get ahead. Looks like he may go for an attack.
Yeah, he is adding 4 gateways right now. He's continuously making those, that's 5 gateways. He's continuously making those immortals. He's probably going to attack on the +1 timing. The gates are going to come up. He's going to get that extra 5 units right when it comes up. He's going to make this forward pylon as well.
Yeah, he's going to have charge, +1 attack. He's also going to have some Archons with all the immortals he has and a ton of production. If Creator's going to get wind of this is happening, he's not going to be able to defend this. What he needs is a wall. He needs to have a gateway wall at the front. He needs to make sure that his mothership core is ready for overcharge and time warps as well. And now he's moving down. He knows that something is going on. Oh, nice pick up on that observer.
Yeah, that's a big pick off. Now he will not have vision of what's going on in Creator's base. He did see the Colossus. Now with that Templar Archives out, he's warping in 3 High Templar, adding another one, going to get 2 Archons.
This is really tense, actually, for Creator, because if he can get that 3rd Colossus out with range, and if he has a wall set up, he's going to be golden. And even without a wall, with 3 Colossi in range, if he gets his own Zealots out to block at the front, he can easily defend this. But if he doesn't, if the attack comes down and hits perfectly, it could be terrible. And oh no, he sees this Warp Prism, he blinks under it, and there's no contestants here. He doesn't actually have anything to punish those Stalkers or blinking like that.
Yeah, Rain just having that Warp Prism out there, getting stopped there, that's going to put a little hindrance in his aggression here. And just looking at a quick look at the supplies, he goes down a bit, a warp in. He's got to be careful though. Creator has to be careful now, blinking in a bit, losing a bunch of Stalkers, taking a bunch of damage, trying to chase the Stalkers of Creator. Got to be careful there.
The position here for Rain is awkward, and he needs to transition into Void Rays. He could also be making Tempests. It depends on what he wants to do here. He's going to get a 3rd base up. If he gets a 3rd base up uncontested, he can go into Tempest directly to try to contest those Colossi from afar. But if he really wants to defend against a possible Creator push at his 3rd, he's going to want Void Rays. He's going to use those quickly. Here we go. Time Warp goes down in Creator's army. On the other hand, really good concave here for Rain. Creator might have overstepped his bounds.
Yeah, nice blink in here, trying to pick off some of the units in the back, but a lot of the units in the back for Rain are actually going down. Some more damage coming in. A nice warping of Zealots actually from Rain. But looking at the supplies right now, besides those Colossi that don't have the protection from the Zealots, Creator is up a little bit.
Yeah, Creator is up a little bit here. The Colossi, though, starting to fall as the Immortals close the gap, and a relatively even exchange occurs here. Continued Immortal production going up for Rain. Remember, he has this 3rd Nexus up much faster, and he destroyed so many of those expensive Colossi units for Creator, who's now trying to transition into his own Archons. He sees the Nexus now. The Stargate hasn't been utilized just yet. He doesn't add any Void Rays, and that kind of tells me that he's planning on going into Tempest later on rather than trying to get the Void Rays out. And with how well that engagement went for him, all things considered, I guess he probably thinks, well, I don't absolutely need Void Rays right now.
Yeah, definitely. Creator has another thing on his mind with those 2 Colossi. Assuming that he killed a lot of Rain's army, he's going to try to come in here and go for an attack. But a nice warping in the back from Rain. Creator's going to have to do that in the back of his base. Rain picking off a nice pickoff on that observer.
Yep, and the Archons are leading the charge. He's actually going to commit here. I'm not sure if he has enough. He picks off a Colossus for free. That's a great trade. And with those Archons, he can actually do decently well against the Zealots. And the Zealots waste their charge here on the Nexus. A lot of them. The charge is on cooldown. Actually, a pretty big deal. 2 Zealots in this Warp Prism might be able to get a little bit more harassed on.
Yeah, I like this attack of the Creator, actually. He's going to deny this 3rd. That was one of Rain's big advantages here. He's doing a good job stopping this little Zealot harassing his base at the same time. Staying very even with Rain right now.
Really nice micro there by Rain, actually. He got the best out of that he could have, considering he attacked late. Tech-wise, the better infrastructure goes to Creator now because he has both. He has the ability to produce Colossi and or Archons, something to consider. Whereas right now Rain is still stuck on the Archon tech. He has that Stargate, but he hasn't used it. Almost makes me wonder if he canceled it. I can't tell you guys, but it might have been canceled for him to get a few more Archons out. This is a really, really tense situation. Creator's actually continuing the attack here. And there's a flank setup. If Creator actually walks into this with that Mothership Core there for Time Warps, could be a disaster.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful. Rain with a really nice setup, a really nice Time Warp onto most of Creator's army, and those Zealots are a bit trapped.
Yeah, they're at the back. They can't really fight. The Colossi trying to do what damage they can. The Immortals, though, they need to close the gap. He's got 5 Immortals here. Even the Warp Prism able to come in there. He picks up the Immortals. He's going for the chase, and Creator is dropping in supply. There's the Warp in the units, but it's a bit too late. Immortals immediately target those Colossi, and the Colossi escape, but it doesn't matter. If they're not shooting, they're not doing their damage.
They just keep running away, and the pickup of the Immortals is so huge, just continuing to chase these 2 Colossi that are all alone out here. They're definitely going to go down now, and that is Rain's big fight against Creator, taking a huge lead, dancing the Immortals.
Dances the Immortals, and that is it for Creator for this game. 2 additional Archons being warped in right now at home for him as he desperately tries to decide whether he wants to type his GG in all capitals or not, because the attack is on. Here comes Rain in full force, and there's not enough Creator here.
There's just not enough Creator. Like you said, he's going to have to decide when exactly he GGs. You see his face on the camera. He is not happy after losing this one.
He gave a little bit of a disappointed look there, a little bit of a scowl, and there's the typing. I could tell. Well, I thought he was. It looked like he was typing there in the chat GG, but he's not yet. He's trying to hold off a little bit longer. His last stand here. There's the Mothership Core with the overcharge, but the Nexus has already lost all of its shields. Other warping in the main base will seal the deal. Probes come off the line, and Creator, being cheesy in his previous match, defended a cheese here, but it was not enough. GG.
Rain winning a well-deserved PvP up against Creator. We said that the only chance that Prime had if Cal does win would be Creator. Yeah. Rain having won that match, it's now going to be all to Terror to possibly keep the hope up for Prime.
This is going to be Terror's biggest match ever, and if he could defeat Parting, a big, flashy, insanely strong Protoss player here, and this would actually be the moment for his career. It'd be a great way to end 2013. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't see it. And if there's anybody who does see it, I want them to tell me what sort of glasses they are looking through, because it's not looking good for Prime. I said it earlier, if Prime takes even 1 win today, it's great for them. And they've done that much. And Creator actually put up a really good fight against Rain. It was a really close game. But the composition that we saw from Rain at the end of the day, with the good concave they set up, punished Creator for overextending himself.